Holy shit. Where the hell am I? I'm in my new set. The Conjuring 2 is directed by James Wan and stars Vera Farmiga, Patrick Wilson, and a lot of very scared children. The first Conjuring I thought was very good. I thought it was one of the better horror films I had seen in a long time, and James Wan I think is probably the best director working in horror today, so I was really excited to see this movie. This film once again is about the Warrens investigating a case of a haunting in a house in England. This little girl is experiencing strange things at night, voices, all kinds of craziness, and it gets intense, as you might expect. Despite the fact that you might expect a lot of the things that happen in this movie, and it does follow virtually every conventional horror thing that you would expect, it's the craft and the performances and the writing that really launched this ahead of all films of its kind out right now. The Conjuring 2 is really good. I had a ton of fun with this movie. This is a damn good horror film. It is scary, it's suspenseful, the tension is real. I felt it palpable throughout the entire film. And a lot of that is due to excellent cinematography and sound design. And like I said, really good performances, especially from the young girl who is most tormented in this film by this entity, as well as Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, who play that married couple, who really grounded the film in realism for me, because obviously there's some crazy shit going on in this movie, but their performances as a couple and their story and the arc for them was so sweet and really, really touching and heartfelt. The film is not just about scary horror things, it's also about marriage and being with somebody that understands you. And the film grounds itself in that type of realistic family story. It's their performances and their story, as well as the family's tight-knit community that they're trying to maintain with each other. They all protect each other. They try to be a good family to one another. That really makes this film better than your average horror film, and not just because of the craft and because of the fact that it actually is scary, but it's that emotional story that keeps it grounded and keeps it weighted in something that you can relate to, and that gives it an arc, that gives it something to care about. It's not just about jump scares. Are there jump scares? Yes, there are, but they're not false. James Wan once again proves how to use a jump scare. Everything that startles you in this movie is meant to startle you. Some creepy shit happens, and it's meant to get you. It's meant to make you jump. James Wan understands how to build tension, how to mount tension until it feels insurmountable, and not just because the sound goes out of the movie for a second and you're expecting a loud noise, but because of expert art direction and the fact that you actually do care about these characters. And so when some of the really creepy shit starts happening, you feel for these characters, and thusly you feel kind of terrified for them, and that's one of the reasons Conjuring 2 is so good. It's also just very entertaining. It's a really entertaining horror film. It's fast-paced. The scenes that do build character don't feel like they drag when compared to the nighttime scenes where there's creepy shit going on. Those scenes are always the ones you are excited about in a horror film, but in this film, I was actually excited about the smaller character moments too, because the characters were so well-rounded, and that's one of the things that's so great about this movie. It presents real people in the middle of this crazy situation, and so you care. You feel like, yes, like I feel bad for these people. I wish this wasn't happening to them. I actually found myself enjoying this one more than the first one, which I really liked. This is a damn good horror film, far better than any of the other horror films I've seen recently, and I can strongly, strongly recommend it. Yes, it does fall back on every traditional horror cliche that you might expect. There's people with the sound devices and video camera equipment and the sounds and the noises and tape recorders, and you get it. You know, you've seen it all before, but like I said, it's the craft and the writing and the performances that really elevate the material. I'm gonna give The Conjuring 2 an A. It is definitely worth seeing, guys, and I hope you like my new background. I am working on it still. I can't guarantee that every video over the next few months is going to be here because we're not officially moved in yet. But I'll try to do a lot of videos here because it's a much bigger space. I love the background. I love filming here. So bear with me as I learn how to film here and I tweak things about the background. It's gonna be a lot of fun to film here. And guys, definitely see this movie. The film was great. The experience of seeing it, though, slightly different story. Do you guys remember a few years ago I did a video called A Rant on Annoying Moviegoers? I'm thinking there's a part 2 coming to that. Yeah, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, guys. I need the therapy. I need it. I need to make a video about the experience I just had tonight, and I'm going to. That'll be very soon. Thank you guys so much as always for watching, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.